Hey guys, good morning and welcome to the channel. So if you guys are first time digitizers, we're gonna go ahead and go over some simple digitizing tips for you guys. So let's digitize this Pokeball. So we're gonna go ahead and get the complex fill and we're gonna go ahead and start making our points. So when you're making your points, for this one for example, you're gonna hold down Command while you're right clicking for your points. And what that does is it's going to go ahead and make that curve for you so you can have a smooth curve. Now here, since you want a straight edge, instead of doing that circle, you're going to release the Command key and you're just going to go ahead and right click. It gives you that straight edge, and then you're going to go ahead and do Command click. And I'm doing it kind of relatively slow just so you guys kind of get the idea, but typically you can go a lot faster, and you can always just go back and fix your points and smooth out your edges. Just like here on the top, I gotta go ahead and smooth out the top edge. And you're gonna also want to go ahead and fix your angle lines, or you can leave them depending on how you want your angle lines to come out, but I want them to come out vertical. So right after I finish fixing this edge, we're gonna go ahead and move our angle line. We're going to go ahead and change the color just so you guys can see the red. And we're going to do the same thing to the bottom. So we're going to go back and get our complex fill. We're going to start off with our straight edge, and then we're going to go around. If you guys have any questions or anything specific you want me to go over in the next video, just go ahead and leave your comments below, or you can send me an email at epicembroidery575@gmail.com. We're going to change the color. So now I'm just thinking here how I want to go ahead and do that middle circle there. So we'll go ahead and use a satin stitch. So when you do your satin stitches, you want to make sure you do them all evenly, more or less. And make sure you're holding down the Command key while you're clicking for your points. And again, that Command key is just going to go ahead and make that curved edge for you. And the way I'm doing the points here, you're going to see why we're gonna need to make them as even as and leveled as possible with each other. And that reason is because it's not going to give you that nice perfect circle with your stitches, even if you fix an angle line. So how it spirals, we don't want it to spiral. We just kind of want it to go, you know, up and down, no spiral. That way it won't look weird once we embroider it. So even if you fix your angle lines here, it's gonna come out a little weird just because we didn't space out our lines evenly and vertically with each other. And this is what you'll get. So you'll still get a middle stitch in there. And we'll go ahead and fix that in a bit. So if you look, you still have that spiral look towards it. So what we need to fix here is one, the spiral. Two, typically when you get stitches like that in the middle and not looking you know, compact together, it's because it's too big. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and hide it for now, and I'll show you guys how to fix this in a few minutes. But for now we're gonna just change it to complex fill, again because for a satin stitch, that area is too large, so our stitches will not come out perfect once we embroider it. So let's go ahead and hide that for now, and let's go ahead and do the middle part. And for this one, we are going to do a satin stitch just because it is smaller. And we do want to give it a different texture once we embroider it on something. So again, that's happening because it's saying that it's too big for a satin stitch. So let's just fix our angle lines, delete any ones that we don't need. And we'll change the color to black. So again, we're going to go ahead and do our satin stitch. And we're going to do this in 3 different parts. So here on the next one, on the middle circle that we're going to work on, is we're also going to do a satin stitch just because we want to give it a different look. So remember, when you're doing your satin stitches, you want to make sure they're as even and leveled with each other as possible. And the reason for that is because it determines how close your stitches are together. Whether you're using Embroidery or Hatch or any other software, typically you're going to use the same functions. I have used Hatch, and I have not had any issues with them doing any satin stitches or complex fills. So this is my 5th year doing embroidery. This is my 2nd year digitizing, so I'm still kind of on a learning curve. So if you guys see anything that I'm not doing correctly or anything like that, I'd be very grateful for any tips, any emails with any tips or anything like that to help me, you know, just get better as I go. And it came out beautifully. So as you can see on this circle, we don't have it, you know, going in a spiral or anything like that. The stitches are going in the same direction. So now for the middle part, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and add a hole. So you're going to have to right click on one of those blue points, and then you're going to hit delete or add hole. So once you add a hole, then you pick your point. And basically you can make your hole any shape that you like. And the reason we're doing this is just so we won't waste extra thread. I don't want to use more red thread than I need to. And once we do our hole, then those black stitches are just going to come out. So now what we need to do is we need to align our lines or edges. That way we don't have any spacing between them when we embroider. I've made the mistake of leaving them and not thinking anything bad was going to happen, because once I zoom out it looks better. You can't see those spacings. But if you leave it like that and you do a sample embroidery, the spacings will show up. So you just want to make sure they're as close as possible. And again, my satin stitch is looking like that because it's telling me it's too big for a satin stitch. And you can always fix that if you go into the density of it, the stitch length. But we're gonna keep it simple for this one. Hopefully you guys are still following me. after we get this done, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how we do the outline for the outside of the ball. So let's remove the background picture, and that's what our ball is. And if you see any edges that you don't like, just go ahead and right click on it, and then we're gonna go ahead and select our pointer with the points, and we're just gonna adjust the edges. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect 100% because we are still gonna do our outline for this ball. And for our outline, there's several ways to do it. It's just depending how you prefer to do it. So I'm going to show you 3 different ways, and hopefully that helps you guys. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and combine everything, and then we're also going to create an outline. So utility, create outline, and I want it to be as closest to the circumference as possible. So we're going to remove that outline. So what it basically does, it just traces it. And then we're going to go ahead and turn this into a complex fill. And then now we're going to right click, utility, and then we're going to do create border. And from there, then you can just remove the border. And just size it to your ball. And if you want to make the width a little bigger, then you go to the width. Let's do a 3. Let's see how that looks. And then you could delete your other circle. So I'm not completely happy with this outline, and that's just because it did an outline of the ball and my lines aren't perfect. So if you also do this way, you can also go in and edit the path, delete points, add points. To your liking. It is a little more tedious, so usually I do not do any outlines this way. I'll show you guys my favorite way in a bit. So now we're going to go in there and we are going to pull the red stitches a little inwards. Again, we don't want any gaps. So we're going to delete the outline, and then this is the second way to create an outline. And you're basically just tracing the shape yourself. So you're going to use your still tool. And again, you're going to hit Control and right click to put your points. You're just going to hit enter, and there is your outline, and again, you can always make it bigger or smaller using the toolbar on the right. And it still doesn't look, you know, like a perfect circle to me. So now the way I usually do this, let's pull up the background picture just to kind of look at it. So you can see those satin stitches are all going one way. And you want to make sure you want to trim your design, and what that's going to do is it's just going to make sure you don't have any jumps. Just makes it easier that way. You don't have to go in and, you know, cut the jumps by hand. So my favorite way to go ahead and do an outline is you're just going to grab the shape, you're going to draw it, and you're going to click and drag it over your design, and you're kind of just gonna match up the size of it, and you're also going to convert it to a still and a perfect circle. And we kind of want it thick. So let's delete the other one and replace it. And now it's looking complete. Perfect. You want to make sure you group your whole image. And you can delete that extra one that I made, and you can delete the picture also, but let's bring it up just to do a comparison. I do realize that I need to change that red in the middle to white. So that's how it's done, guys. I've also done these other two today, and they've come out pretty good. So if you guys want to learn how to blend colors together, let me know down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and hopefully this helps some of you guys. And if you guys want any more tips on anything else, just let me know.